Here's the latest take of Sauron talking about his files.
So Hillary Clinton said in an interview today that she and her husband are getting pulled into the Epstein matter to divert attention from you and that your administration has something to hide. What's your response to that?
I have nothing to hide. I've been exonerated. I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. They went in hoping that they'd find it and found just the opposite. I've been totally exonerated. In fact, Jeffrey Epstein was fighting that I don't get elected with some author, a sleazebag, by the way. And I've been totally exonerated. No, they're getting pulled in, and that's their problem. I don't know, they're going to have to see what happens. But I watched her in Munich, and she seriously has Trump derangement syndrome.
Do you think that she
So if you have nothing to hide, why did you fought so hard for the files first to not be released? You called it a hoax, and everything that we have seen so far is definitely not a hoax. And also calling it that is like calling every survivor out there, every woman who was abused, a liar. I would really like to see him saying that in front of all these women. You're mentioned more in those files than Jesus in the Bible. And I know it's not much, but look here in the important messages from Jeffrey Epstein around the time from 2004. He was mentioned one page before Harvey Weinstein. And we all know why Harvey Weinstein is now sitting behind bars. And I don't want to say they have something to do with each other, but it kind of raises some questions. And on the list from the DOJ on the weekend, we have seen that Elvis and Janis Joplin or Marilyn Monroe are now suspects, but no mentions of any child of Sauron. Yeah, I haven't seen Sauron Jr. in a while. Feels like it's the same thing that he did with I am not racist, I'm the least racist person that you ever met, that he's now saying I have nothing to do with this, there is nothing to see here. There's so much disturbing shit in those files, so much disturbing materials, and no one is getting to face justice so far, not in the US. This is also from the files, and I can only speculate that it's from Virginia Giuffre because she was talking about Florida and California, and it says, like Mar-a-Lago, where I see Mr. Joe and Mrs. Ann, and I don't know who those persons are, but at least Mar-a-Lago is mentioned again. It's from a trauma therapy book, like a diary or something, and it's disturbing. There are disturbing details in there, and it's really hard to know what they've been through, all those women, and there is nothing that the DOJ is doing for them. Instead of bringing the abusers to justice, holding them accountable, they're protecting them. That is the hardest part about all of this. That is why we need to keep talking about it.